Hi, Jeanine Pirro here, U.S. Attorney in Washington, D.C. I just want to invite you into my day to let you in on a little interesting case. We have an individual who is a four-time deportee. That means he's been deported 4 times. He's also an aggravated felon. Many felony convictions, that's why he was deported. But he managed to make it back. He is, in fact, working on Capitol Hill. He's not only working on Capitol Hill, he is working outside and apparently is involved in working the grounds as a gardener or something. So we, with ICE, have been trying to arrest the individual. We are not allowed to go on Capitol Hill to make an arrest. We've been told that we're not allowed to do that. So ICE has been waiting for 8 hours to arrest this individual, and we're coming to the end of his shift, and he goes inside and suddenly he's not available for an arrest. Now, ain't that swell? Here we are in the nation's capital fighting for truth and justice, and they're making sure that the illegals with criminal backgrounds get to stay.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey.
Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Ooh-wee, what's going on, family? Every single day it just don't stop, you know. Every single day is something new. Breaking. U.S. Attorney General Jeanine Pirro just revealed an illegal alien is working on Capitol Hill right now, working the grounds as a gardener. And they are not allowed to go arrest him on Capitol Hill. 4-time deported 4 times. Just never gave up. Never gave up. Come on back in. Come on in. Come on. It's all right. We'll try it another time. We'll try it again. And again. And again. But 4-time deported, ICE has been waiting for 8 hours to arrest this individual, and we're going to come to the end of his shift. ICE goes inside, and suddenly he's not available for an arrest. Now, ain't that swell? Here we are in the nation's capital fighting for the truth and justice, and they're making sure that the illegals with criminal backgrounds get to stay. Boy, oh boy. Y'all know Jeanine Pirro just dropped a massive bombshell just a couple of hours ago. And now we have more news from her on this 4-time illegal deportee working the grounds at Capitol Hill. Oh boy. You know, she just, like I said, just came out with, you know, now determining the legal status of every person who enters the DC criminal justice system. If they're illegal, she's turning them over to ICE. It's amazing. This was not happening before, you know. But oh boy, every single day is something new. Ooh, they miss you, Jeanine, on the 5. They miss you. They say the Fox News called. They said they miss you, Jeanine. They said the hell with Tarloff. They sending Greg Gutfield to have a show with Jimmy Fallon. This is fun to be good. I tell you. Oh, this is getting spicy. We just did a video on the huge major announcement from Greg, and I can't wait to see how that plays out, you know. But y'all know, everybody got to keep their ratings, huh? Oh, hell. Oh.
That's why I'm standing here. Don't question my integrity.
Yeah.
I've mine a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. Well, you know, the Democrats went to frickin' war trying to block Jeanine Pirro's confirmation. Remember the complete hysterical meltdown that we saw not so long ago, led by Cory Booker? We had Democrats storming out of the room, attempting to filibuster the vote. We had them going on unhinged tirades, attacking Jeanine Pirro, a successful, trailblazing woman who shattered so many glass ceilings and broken so many barriers. They tried convincing us that she was unqualified and a lunatic. And well, I guess finally now we know why. Because the second U.S. Attorney Pirro actually takes her position, she drops the frickin' hammer, and in one swift move, totally dismantles the Democrat illegal immigration agenda. Jeanine Pirro is now throwing a wrench into the sanctuary city nonsense in Washington, D.C. with a new policy announcement that frankly seems long overdue, that has you questioning why they weren't doing this in the frickin' first place. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on, and then maybe let's segue and take a little bit of time to see how little Cory Booker's doing. Spoiler alert, not so great. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so take a look at what just happened. Here's Jeanine Pirro officially confirming as U.S. Attorney that she's not playing games with D.C. sanctuary city crap.
We are prioritizing the president's executive order to make D.C. safe and beautiful. And as part of that initiative, what my office has done in recent weeks is we are now trying to identify those illegals who are currently burrowed in our criminal justice.
Y'all know we did a full video covering this. If you missed it,
system, who've identified themselves either as citizens or individuals with actual legal status who do not have status or are illegal. Previously, there was no questioning them, and there was certainly no verification of that. Now, I've got my chief criminal investigator, Matt Fox Moles, who has an enforcement removal officer embedded with his investigators, working with ICE to identify those individuals already in the system that we can then find out from ICE what their status is. Previously, no one even asked. They would just literally go through the system and either be convicted and possibly go to jail or be found not guilty and be released. But the D.C. City Council has worked very hard to make sure that these individuals avoid any contact with ICE, almost to the point where the law requires, upon a request by a defense attorney, that an illegal be removed to the Department of Corrections when there may be no actual case, to kind of throw the feds off, as opposed to simply releasing them from the courthouse right then and there. We're on top of this. We're making sure now that not just in the misdemeanor cases, but in the federal docket, the Superior Court docket, we are identifying the illegals that are in the system to make sure that D.C. is safe, that we know who is here and who is entitled to be here.
So she's ordering that the legal status of every person who enters the D.C. criminal justice system be verified, and if they're here illegally, then said individual gets flagged to ICE, and they can then pick the individual up. In other words, if you commit a crime and you're not even supposed to be in the country in the first place, you're not going to get protected by the woke DC nonsense that's currently running the show. It's all making sense now. This is why they hate her. This is why they tried stopping her, because she leads with common sense, and that right there is the modern left's kryptonite. This is why they tried to stop her. This is why they launched the ridiculous smear campaigns, pushing their pathetic performative tantrum tactics. Remember the Senate walkout, the childish antics, all led by Senator Spartacus himself, googly-eyed Cory Booker. I mean, this guy really thought that he was going to derail the confirmation by storming out like a petulant child. Yeah, obviously, he knew he wasn't actually going to stop.
He up there hollering and screaming, standing up there for hours and hours and hours. Give that fella a corn dog. Give him a corn dog. Slap some Diddy oil on that bald head. Come on, man. Y'all got to get real. And the only thing I like from him recently is that I think he called the Democrat Party out and saying, we're done. We're not fighting hard enough. Yeah. Come to reality. Good. This is good. You standing up there screaming for hours and hours and hours, man. They ought to walk your butt out in handcuffs.
No, the real intention was obviously to pander to the woke outrage mob. Cory Booker's seen the focus groups, he's seen the Democrat polls showing that Democrats want their politicians to fight. They don't want more affordable living, a better economy, safer streets. No, none of that. They just want Cory Booker and his ragtag crew of woke Democrat friends to continue screaming. And well, that's exactly what he and Mazie Hirono and others did. And while I'm not exactly sure it was the right strategy, because firstly, they didn't stop Jeanine Pirro, now here she is, implementing some of the most base policies we've seen thus far. And secondly, well, the Democrats are in a little bit of a internal fight here. There's a lot of dysfunction.
The Democratic Party needs a wake-up call. I see law firms bending a knee to this president, not caring about the larger principles, that those free speech rights, that you could take on any client. Why are you bending the knee? Universities, there should be bastions of free speech, bending at the knee to this president. And what are the very people here elected to defend the Constitution of the United States saying, oh, well, today, let's look the other way and pass some resources that won't go to Connecticut, that won't go to Illinois, that won't go to New York, that will go to the states he likes. It's time for Democrats to have a backbone. It's time for us to fight. It's time for us to draw lines. And when it comes to the safety of my state being denied these grants, that's why I'm standing here. Don't question my integrity. Don't question my motives. I'm standing for Jersey. I am standing for my police officers. I'm standing for the Constitution, and I'm standing for what's right.
I mean, you could see this.
And that's why everybody running their butt out of here. That's why everybody running their butt out of there. I'm telling you. That's why I'm telling y'all, man. Oh,
Steam coming out of his ears. You can see his eyeballs are about to pop out of his damn skull. And he's not out here lashing at Republicans anymore, but no, rather at his own party, because apparently his resistance tactics are now starting to piss off some of the more moderate Democrats in the party. Certain Democrats who see the writing on the wall, they're sick of the obstruction for obstruction's sake mindset. They're starting to realize that screaming resist 24/7 may play well to the radical Starbucks barista who's trying to, push unions on the company. But everybody else, it's not a good look. And what people actually want is bipartisan deal making. People want good legislation. They want Democrats to actually work towards something good despite who the president is today. But Cory Booker describes that as being complicit with fascism. No, dumbass. It's called being effective and pragmatic and doing the right thing for the country instead of devoting to this ridiculous resistance ideology. I think Scott Jennings hit the nail on the head with this clip that kind of outlines what I'm talking about.
When did you flip? Because, Daily Show did a nice little hit piece on you and basically saying that you were very critical of Trump at one point. Just like J.D. Vance, just like myself, just like a lot of other people. What caused you to flip?
Well, I voted Republican my whole life, and I did vote for him 3 times. But like everybody else, I didn't get it. I mean, I've readily admit I did not get it. I did not understand it. I did not get how this guy who hadn't been a Republican was coming along to take over the Republican Party. I did not get it. Over time, I began to realize what he was doing, and I also began to realize the choice. In 2024, for me, there was Kamala Harris versus Donald Trump, the idea of common sense versus whatever it is she was selling. Plus, his opposition, the reflexive nature of his opposition to hate and try to delegitimize him on everything he does, I think is terrible for America. I mean, you wear that pin? They're rooting against America.
Yeah.
On the tariffs all April, they were hoping it would fail.
Imagine that.
They're hoping it would.
Hoping that it all burned and crashed so they can come out and say proudly. You see? This is what y'all voted for? The big bad orange man, the threat to democracy, the dictator, Hitler. You see, everything is burning and crashing. Everything is tanked. Yeah, y'all clap it up for the orange man. That's all they want. They hate America, man. They hate when we say America first. They hate it.
Against America.
On Iran, when we bombed the missile sites. What's the first thing that happened? We got to impeach him. He didn't do that much damage.
Yeah.
The immediate delegitimization of this guy. Every time he does something, they root for America's failure.
Yep.
Everything he does, do I like? No. No politician I'm 100% all the time. But I'll tell you this, I like it that he roots for America. Mm. And I hate it that they root against America just because he did it.
Bingo.
And I think that's why a lot of people are fine with it.
Exactly. It's exactly that. It's these Adam Schiff meltdowns.
I mean, even her own people on Fox thought she couldn't be trusted to be on TV, on their own network. And after the show was briefly taken off the air,
his
Fox
line scamming dog. He up there just lying and go, y'all. He ought to been. They should have been made an example out of his butt, and all those pardons should be null and void. He in there begging for a pardon to the machine. In there, he in there with the auto pen machine, in there begging for a pardon. You lying, scamming dog.
News producer Justin Wells described they took her off because she was crazy. Optics are bad, but she's crazy. Her own executive producer also described her as nuts. Are we going to put someone that even Fox, and I'm not a particular fan of Fox, but even Fox thought was crazy, nuts, couldn't be trusted on live television? We're going to trust her with the lives and liberty of people in the District of Columbia?
Where he doesn't actually talk about the policy or the ideas or qualifications. No, he just yells, she's crazy, and Fox News got rid of her for a reason. First of all, if Fox News makes a decision to censor somebody, it's probably because they're, saying something worth saying. Let's just put it that way. But secondly, what a dumb argument. And this dumb crap is what people are sick of. This wasteful, mindless resistance. You didn't block Jeanine Pirro. You didn't block the big, beautiful bill. You accomplished nothing, and now you got Democrats just slowing down Trump's nominees, getting in the way of important work that needs to be done, attempting to sabotage the mandate of the American people. And these people wonder why their party is in the frickin' dumpster. It's very simple. Stop with the crackhead behavior and let Jeanine Pirro cook, because clearly she's cooking up some delicious Michelin star level policy dishes. Anyways,
I'm telling you, she cooking. It's like she cooking something every single day. Like every single day, we get a report on Judge Jeanine Pirro. Oh boy, what y'all think, man? Keep it real with me. But y'all have an amazing rest of your weekend. Enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace and love, family.